Hey everyone, welcome to the reading for today. We're going to see what you guys need to know right now. It's a general reading. Okay, it could be past, present, future. You're going to know best how this resonates for you and where it fits on the timeline. So let's just jump right in and see what your message is from your spirit guides. The Six of Pentacles. You get what you give. Okay, death. The Six of Wands in reverse. And the Six of Cups at the bottom. Oh man, I don't know if I even want to do this reading right now. I don't know if I want to do this. Okay, 666, first of all, which as an angel number is not like the devil's number. Okay, 666, when you're speaking in the light sense of the number, is just about receiving. Okay, it's about reciprocity, it's about an exchange, it's about a transition, right? It's about going from one energy to another. Right, so that's why, for example, you have the Six of Cups, just to explain this, because some people equate 666 to being always negative, but in this sense, like the Six of Cups, you're transitioning from one energy of childhood to an adult, right? Or the Six of Pentacles, it's an exchange. You give something, you receive something, right? So for me, oftentimes when I see that number, when I see 66 or 666, that means for me that I'm receiving something, or something that I have put out in the universe, someone else has received. Okay, so if you want to channel some sort of information to someone else and then you see 666 or 66 afterwards, that for me is like the confirmation that it was successful. Okay. Or again, like when I see 666 a lot, I know that I'm about to receive something positive, okay? But I don't know what this is, because 666 here, and then we have death, which also is a card of transformation or transition. So it could be just some sort of transformative energy here. But I don't really like, the reason why I don't like this in this sense is because the Six of Pentacles is giving and receiving. You know, you get what you give. You get back what you put out. And the Six of Wands in reverse is like defeat, humiliation, loss of reputation, having a fall from grace, okay? This could be like an ego death. It could be something like that, all right, where somebody might have put out some nasty, nasty energy into the universe, and it circled right back around and came right back to them, and they got the same shit that they put out. They could have tried to humiliate you. They could have tried to tear you down. They could have tried to knock you off your pedestal. Okay. This is like someone trying to rip the crown off your head. And if they did that, that shit came right back around. You know, some people, they get instant karma. Instant. If they do you wrong, if they do something to you and you catch onto it, you don't have to do anything. In these kind of cases, you don't have to do anything. Okay? But that energy will come straight back around. They will get back what they put on you. And sometimes it happens instantly. Okay? Let's see what this is. Why is the Six of Pentacles here? The Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. Yeah, some sort of information, a message, something that someone said, maybe. this is like eating their own words. Like someone, they put out words in the universe and that shit is coming straight back to them to, I don't know, it's like boomerang effect, okay? I don't know. The Emperor in the reverse. Yeah, somebody could have been like nasty in their ego. Power hungry, controlling in a way. Okay, Death. The Empress. The Six of Wands in reverse. Again. The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. That's so interesting. We have the Emperor and the Empress, and then we have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. Scorpio energy here. And someone feeling humiliated, embarrassed, knocking someone down. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, Death, the Empress and the Queen of Cups. This could even be like for someone, it's giving me a passed over mother. Like a mother, maternal energy on the other side. Confirmation. And she saw something happening here, down here, and she was like, oh, hell nah. I feel like if you have a maternal energy passed over on the other side, she was like, oh no, it's not going down that way, okay? She made sure that shit circled straight back around. I don't know, but that's what it's giving me. Six of Wands reverse. The Ten of Swords in reverse. The Tower. It's a catastrophe. Okay, I don't know. Something is big. Like, it's a big, shocking event. Somebody, like, it's almost like, and this is really bad. I mean, I don't know why. This is like pouring salt in the wound right now for someone. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to be laughing, but there's like a spirit here pouring salt in someone's wound, because it's like the humiliation of something or the embarrassment of something was so shocking that it feels like it's left someone stunned, like wanting to run away, hide, cover their face, like shocking, like a punch in the gut, like they weren't expecting it. Okay, I don't know. No, oh, they were not expecting some sort of communication. Maybe they weren't expecting to get called out. Maybe they weren't expecting that you would say something, or that somebody would say something about it. They weren't expecting something to get called out. Yeah, the truth. You get back what you put out. Okay, so what's the Six of Pentacles? The Hermit. The Two of Wands. Yeah, it's like watching someone's choices. But who is the Hermit looking at someone's choices here? The Wheel of Fortune. That is karma. High Priestess and the Seven of Cups. That's karma. Okay? I almost feel like someone here is confused as to why they got called out for something, okay? But you're the High Priestess. So if there's a passed over ancestor here, or this Queen of Cups, King of Cups, Empress, I don't know, I feel like they're passed over for some reason. Because even with the Hermit, it's giving me that. It's like there's a spirit that's communicating with you, okay? Or they're telling you what someone is up to, or they're just giving you information, okay? In all kinds of different ways, right? But it's like they watch somebody do something here. They're watching someone's choices. They're like looking at it. They're looking at it. They're watching it, taking notes, right? And it's like, I don't know, something came in here with karma. It came right back around here, the choices that someone made. What's that about? No, because they tried to undermine you. Okay, whoever you are. I feel like with the Emperor in the reverse being here, there's a spirit or a passed over ancestor watching over you that I feel like they witnessed somebody trying to undermine you or disempower you or affect your decisions in a way. Like they tried to make you weaker in your own decisions. Like they try to influence you in a way, okay? But in a negative way, because it's coming out the Emperor in the reverse. This is somebody that you missing you, nostalgia, photographs. Okay, something about photographs. Focus on self. Focus on self. Something about being focused on yourself. Photographs. Huh? Coffin. This has to do with someone that is passed over. What is this about? Hold on. A relationship. Or two people in a relationship. The Ten of Cups, somebody fighting, an argument, somebody having competition or an argument, somebody being in competition because of family or happiness, bliss, a relationship. Okay. The King of Wands in reverse. Why do I feel like this has to do with like when you judge someone else harshly and they didn't do anything to you to deserve that, like it comes back around. And I don't know why that's showing up this way. The Seven of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, defending something here when it comes to what someone was working on. I also want to say, like, okay, this is going to be very specific, but it's making me feel like at some point you might have been confused about who was like watching you. Okay, so if you, because I'm getting that with the Seven of Cups, all right? So if you're like confused, like, okay, let's say your intuition is telling you that somebody is watching you in some sort of way, okay? Like maybe you think you're being hacked and stalked, right? So you think someone's watching you, but maybe you don't know who it is. So you have like this assumption about who it might be, and like maybe you said something about that at some point, right? Maybe somebody here thought you were talking about them, is what I'm getting. Like, like I'm just getting an example, okay? If you're saying like, you're a fucking stalker, you're a hacker, I know you're watching me, okay? But in your mind, you're thinking about someone else, okay? I don't know why. I feel like somebody here might have taken it personally, like you were talking to them, but you were not thinking about them. You were thinking about someone else. Like that's what this gives me for some reason, okay? I don't know why. the King of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Yeah, this has to do with something in the past with the King of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, Two of Pentacles. It's like you don't really know what is going on, right? You don't really know. You can feel things. This is like being able to sense things. Like you're able to sense that you're being listened to in some sort of way, or somebody has, let's say like they've invaded privacy in some sort of way, okay? But you can't really tell how. Well, sometimes you can sense it. Like you can just sense that something feels like it's been made vulnerable about you, about your energy field, about your home, about you personally. Like sometimes you can just feel that something has been like made vulnerable. I don't know how to say it. Like if there's a boundary, like someone has been inside of it, you know what I mean? Like you can just sense it, okay? So I don't know why I'm getting all this, but it's like there could have been something that happened in the past where you sensed that feeling, okay? That somebody had like seen something or had access to something that you typically would not have wanted, okay? But maybe you didn't know like who it was or how that happened, okay? So okay, like let's put it in perspective, right? Because I feel like I have to put it in a perspective here. The energy here is like, let's say you have a fucked up ex, okay, and they have like pictures of you or something and they send it out, and then some innocent person ends up seeing things that they should have never seen, but it's like they don't have that malicious intent behind it because they're like they didn't ask for it and they weren't the one that did it, you know what I mean? But you can sense energetically, maybe intuitively, that something has been like made vulnerable, or someone has had access to something, right? So maybe if you don't know how, who, when, where, why, all you can do is sense something, you might assume that you're being like hacked through your cameras and they're like watching you, okay? All right, so they're like watching you and listening to you 24/7 because you don't know, you can't know 100% like where is it coming from, but you can sense in the energy that like something has been like the barrier has been broken on something, okay? I don't know how to explain this. So this is like you feeling that energy and you being confused about what the fuck happened, who is it, who's doing it, who's encroaching on something here, and maybe you're thinking about this one person that it could be, and that to you is like an absolute nightmare, that thought, right? So you're like, I know you're stalking me, watching me, looking at me, right? But what if you're actually picking up on someone completely different and it wasn't even their fault, like they had nothing to do with it, but all you're sensing is that the fact that something happened, you know what I mean? And I don't know why I feel like maybe someone took it personally that you accused them of it when in your mind you weren't accusing them of it, but you didn't know where it was or who it was or how it happened, right? I don't know. That's just what this feels like. Okay, so the Five of Cups and the Nine of Wands. Yeah, this could have been you. Like, I don't even really feel it that way. I mean, I feel like you were very defensive, maybe, okay? Like very defensive. Maybe you felt like you had to be very defensive because maybe you felt some sort of a violation, okay? And maybe the person that you attacked, I mean, look, this, I don't even feel like you attacked this person like to their face. I feel like it's more of a, like a public cry of like, I know someone's hacking me. I know you're watching me, you know, but you could have made someone feel bad. You could have made someone feel like bad or ashamed in a way, but I feel like this feels like you accidentally fired at the wrong person, you know what I mean? Because you just couldn't see what was actually going on, okay? You just felt something, I don't know how to explain it. Was it death? The Knight of Pentacles. The Five of Swords. And the Eight of Swords, trying to trap someone. Some sort of manipulation. Conniving. What is that? The Snake. Yeah, I feel like this has to do with it's something that you picked up on intuitively. Okay, and like, I don't know, I have to say for myself, like it took me a very long time like differentiate. I mean, I've always kind of been able to differentiate, but then there's certain situations where I really have to think like, is this really my energy or is this someone else's? Like, is this really something coming at me or is this somewhere else? Like that's kind of been my lesson this year, is learning how to discern what is downloaded to me as being relevant for me and for YouTube, or if it's just coming to me as information for like the most random events everywhere else in the world. I don't know. Okay, because sometimes I get so much information. I'm like, for a long time, I really was like, what do I do with all this? Like, I don't even know who this is, or. And this kind of feels like that, where you might have assumed something was like about you and your life, when it was actually, you were actually picking up on something else. Like, how do I say this? It's like, like something wasn't malicious towards you, but because the energy coming through was so malicious, and maybe you couldn't place it, you couldn't discern it. Maybe you assumed that somebody was doing something malicious towards you, or planning something towards you, or just overstepping a boundary, violating you in some sort of way. Something about being tied up, okay? Something about being tied up. Yeah, maybe you felt like someone had overheard something. I don't know. You just might have felt extremely violated, okay? What is that? Breakup, separation. silent treatment. Okay, so maybe someone ended up giving you the silent treatment after that. Because they felt stabbed in the back. Or something about a weapon, a mask, being angry, feeling used and violated. Yeah, something in the past. Where you were really hurt, or you hurt someone else with the way that you spoke. Because you felt like you had been violated by something. This feels like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say a misunderstanding because I feel like somebody's feelings did get hurt. I gotta be honest, like, I feel like somebody's feelings did get really hurt. So I don't really want to say it was a misunderstanding because I feel like that kind of, like, I don't want to invalidate what someone felt here because I do feel like hurtful things might have been said, okay? But I do feel like you might have been confused. Hold on, let me see. What are you trying to tell me here? The Knight of Cups. That somebody was coming to you out of love. That something was done out of love. Some sort of communication. A King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. Something about money. Job, business, success, independence. Eight of Wands. Some action that was taken. So, okay, so someone here took action out of love. But why did that make you feel so violated? Like, the Devil, because all you picked up on was the feeling of being violated. Like you didn't see who was behind it or what their intention was or why or what boundary had been crossed. Okay, so what I'm getting here is like, let's imagine this like a house. And there's someone here around you that wants to do something for you out of love, I guess, and they come to the house. So they do something in the house. So they step into the house, your spiritual house. And I don't know what they wanted to do in there, okay? But they did that. And all you can sense is that somebody is in the house. So maybe like your initial feeling is like, oh my God, somebody broke into the house. Like this is malicious, right? Somebody has broken in, they're doing something to hurt me. This is a violation. Like that's all you can feel is well, I mean, that's not what you necessarily feel, but you feel like somebody is in the house. So you feel like it must be somebody violating your boundary in some sort of way, right? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure out why somebody did what they did or how they did it, or I don't even feel like Spirit really wants me to talk about that because I feel like that's going to be very personal. I feel like this is more about you and your reaction to someone. And again, I don't want to like excuse it because I do feel like someone's feelings got hurt here, but I feel like you could not in that moment discern someone's intentions and what was actually going on, you know? Interesting. But why did you have this, like, I really feel like you had this extremely strong feeling of that you had been violated. Or that somebody had, like, was, like, listening to you or something, or that somebody had overheard something, and that maybe it was even tied to, like, a feeling of shame for you. Okay, so this reading is not going to be for everyone, all right? But I'm just going to be really open right now because we all have feelings and we all feel things, okay? And with the Six of Wands in reverse here, like, maybe you even felt some sort of embarrassment or shame, okay? Like, maybe something came up for you and it was like more of a fear, like, oh my God, did somebody hear that? Was that overheard? Or like, I don't know, something like that. Hold on. The Nine of Cups and Justice. So this had to do with you receiving justice for something, or something was being made fair, something was being made right. The Three of Pentacles, with a group of people collaborating together. There was bad memories in the past here of someone moving forward, somebody trying to block someone, being very defensive, making the wrong choice. This has to do with a Queen of Pentacles, and what a Queen of Pentacles has in their possession is holding on to. Something that a Queen of Pentacles is holding on to, has in their possession. What's that? It's not about sex, okay? It's not about something sexual, all right? It's about a mask. Someone wearing a mask, somebody pretending, not showing their face. Ooh, clock, the Phoenix, palm tree, PPP. PPP? Someone hiding their face, PPP? In pictures. What? I do feel like this has to do with, like, pictures of you. Pictures of someone, okay? Oh. I mean, I don't even know. Okay, so I say this sometimes. I don't even know if I should say this. And then you're like, yeah, say it. Okay. But, okay, if it's coming out this way, I guess I'm supposed to speak on it, right? And this is a bit touchy, but it's like again, that example that I gave at the beginning, where somehow pictures of you get into circulation and they end up with someone that is innocent, but they've seen them, okay? Like, what are you supposed to do? And they don't have malicious intent behind it, but all you can pick up is that something has happened. Like, you feel exposed. Like if you're really tapped in, you can feel like you feel exposed. Like you feel like somebody has, like, seen you naked, okay? Like, I don't know how to explain it. You feel vulnerable. So if you don't know what happened, and you're like thinking about how could this have happened, and you're thinking about like, oh my God, did somebody hack my microphones? Is someone listening to me while I'm like doing this, doing that, you know? Then that is super embarrassing. That's a very uncomfortable feeling, okay? That does not feel nice. That feels very embarrassing. Like, this feeling is, trying to find the right words. You just feel violated. Especially, I think, if you think that it could be a scenario like that where you don't know if someone's listening to you, okay? You just feel nasty, like you feel icky, I guess you could say, right? So I feel like there's something that happened here in the past where you might have assumed something horrible, or you might have assumed that something happened that didn't happen based off of the energy that you were feeling. And it wasn't malicious, but it was like you could feel something, but you couldn't, like, you could feel something and you could feel what it is, what it feels like, but you couldn't figure out where it was coming from or who it was. You know what I mean? So this kind of feels like maybe somebody got caught in the crossfire that maybe wanted to help you, okay? Like, if something circled around to someone and they caught wind of it, maybe they wanted to help you, and you couldn't discern who they were or what they want. So it just maybe felt dangerous, okay? Or something might have felt like a threat, so you might have attacked someone verbally. Okay, so why is that coming out with the Queen of Cups, though? Because of a Queen of Swords and a message? Because of what someone said, okay? What somebody said. Death. About a death? Oh, what somebody said about a death? And what somebody had been investing into, working towards, a third party in the past with a Queen of Wands. Are you saying that there's like a parallel here, that this has happened before, or that you're not aware of? Because, like, how are you supposed to know? You, like, pick up on random things, and how are you supposed to know if what you're feeling half the time is even real, okay? Or where can you put it? Like, you might feel like you have 10 different drawers open with, like, okay, so where does this belong? Like, I can tell that you're trying to give me information, but, like, where? In what direction does it go? Because it's so much sometimes, you know, with people's lives. Like, people have so many different things going on. So what is that about in the past? Healing from heartbreak, something about talking to a friend, spending time with friends, keep a positive mindset. Healing from heartbreak. Talking to a friend, girl talk, spending time with friends, trying to keep a positive mind by spending time with a friend. Wait a minute, is this what happened after you like went off on someone, or? Be lighthearted, finding out now the truth is coming to light. About what? About a tape. Or about something replaying over and over in your mind. Okay, so maybe you were even thinking about this the last couple days. I don't know, it feels like a download that came through, replaying events over in your head. Like maybe all of a sudden randomly you started thinking about this again. If you did, it's because maybe you were supposed to look at it and like maybe you were wrong about what happened or who it was, or I don't know, something like that. And that something was out of love, but you thought that somebody was being malicious. You thought somebody... But I even think that you didn't even realize it was this person. Like you thought it was that person. You thought you were picking up on this person's energy and you were talking about someone else, or somebody that you thought in your mind, it must be this person, but in reality, it was someone else, but you couldn't discern that because all you were getting is this weird feeling of being violated. You know what I mean? So it's almost like your mind playing tricks on you, because if you think about someone overstepping boundaries or somebody encroaching, invading your privacy, you might, like your first thought of like, of course you're gonna be like, who could it be? And if you think this person over here, you're like, oh my God, no fucking way, okay? And it's like, ew. But you don't know that it's not them, right? You think it's this person, but you don't even know who it is, really. That's what this feels like. Is that what I'm getting here? Hold on. I know this reading has been a while, but... Is it two different people? Yeah, you were confused. Seven of Cups. You were confused, but somebody here didn't do something maliciously, or you were confused because something had to be exposed, or you were confused because you felt exposed. Like, I feel like you felt exposed in a way, but not like you did something wrong, but more like you felt exposed, if you get what I mean, okay? Five of Wands, something was an argument about a choice that was made then, or there was an argument, or you argue with someone, or you were very combative towards someone, so they made a choice. The Sun. But that exposed something on the internet. Two of Cups. Oh. Ouch. A Queen of Cups. But that exposed something here. A plan with a Queen of Cups and a relationship. What do you mean that exposed a plan? The plan. Toil and labor, occupation, the plan. The plan, the master plan, I don't know. The divine plan of something here. Or or it's almost like you had to stay confused because of the plan. Like you weren't allowed to know. This is even making me feel like someone's identity here was concealed the entire time, okay? Whoever the innocent person is in all this, their identity was concealed the entire time, okay? So you weren't allowed to know. Like you could have, like if Spirit doesn't want you to know who someone is, then you're not going to get the information. It's going to be super confusing. Like, and you'll get confused on purpose. Spirit will be like, they work here, they work there, it's this person, it's that person. Like, because Spirit can sense that you're curious, right? So you have to, I mean, I don't know how to say this. Sometimes you have to be really careful about the assumptions you make, right? And you have to keep an open mind if you're trying to find answers and seek answers, because sometimes if it's not time for you to know something, but you're really curious and you're just really trying to figure something out, but it's just not time, Spirit will give you the wrong answer just to like satisfy your curiosity. I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. I've had this happen to me. That's why I'm like speaking from experience here, okay? I've gotten answers that were not the truth at all, but it was like only to satisfy my curiosity, because I would not stop trying to figure something out. So it's like a spirit guy was like, okay, here's the answer. This will satisfy B priestess, right? They'll stop asking questions. And then only to figure out later, like, wait a minute, that's not what it is at all. It's something completely different, right? But it's almost like because it wasn't time to know in that moment what was really going on, because it would have messed up something else in the divine plan. It's like, that's just how it is. I don't know. That's just how the spirits do it. Like, it's not in my control. They run the show, okay? They really run the show. If they don't want you to know something, yes, they will confuse you. Yes, they will give you wrong information. Yes, they will play tricks on you, but it's not malicious. It's more like there's a plan here and they want to make sure you don't mess it up by being too curious. It's like things have to have their flow. Things have to just unfold the way that they're supposed to unfold. And like, you might have not known about someone's identity for a very, very long time. Maybe the whole time. You never knew, okay? Anything about someone. So, there's a dog. So, if there's an innocent person in this, okay, I don't know, for some reason, you were not allowed to know that something here was innocent, but I feel like that ended up really hurting someone because they were trying to help you, but you perceived it as an attack, but you didn't do it on purpose. I feel like that's why I'm trying to be careful with the word misunderstanding, because, you know, if you had known what was really going on, you obviously wouldn't have reacted that way, but it's all you could feel was a certain feeling. That's what I'm getting. And all you could place it to was some random person you were thinking of who was obviously not this same person. But you were going off of an energy. And you weren't going off the energy of the person. Or maybe that's what's really important to discern in this reading, is that you were not picking up on the energy of the person. When you accuse them of something, you were picking up on the energy of feeling violated and feeling like somebody had been stalking you or hacking you, okay? And that's what made you react that way, is that feeling. It wasn't the energy of the person. Because I feel like if you tapped into the energy of the person, you would not accuse them of that, right? But Spirit didn't show you the energy of the person. Okay. I feel like for a very long time, because of the plan, the divine plan, you were not allowed to tap into the energy of the other person, or you're not connected to it, or you were not allowed to be connected to it in the past. There was like a block there. It was a barrier. It was like not past here. Like somebody's identity and energy was super protected, I feel like, here. You were not allowed to tap into it because you weren't allowed to know who the person is. Okay? But on the flip side, that could have then caused, like I said, some things here, because you can tell someone is in your energy, but if you're not allowed to know who it is or what they want, then you're assuming the worst, and because you don't know who the person is, you're maybe thinking about this, like person 1, person 2, person 3, who it could be, and you're like, oh my God, everything is horrible. Okay, so that's just what I'm getting. All right. I don't know. So what's the Tower? The Tower is the Hierophant and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like insecurity. Or feeling insecure, feeling lack, feeling alone, or some sort of abandonment, or... The Four of Wands in a home, in a house. Somebody taking action online. I feel like it's on the internet. Why do I feel like it's on the internet? Why is that important? Because of a hand of cards, Cupid's arrow. A soulmate? A surprise? It was a surprise that someone is a soulmate? Yeah, no, I don't know what this is. I feel like it's the innocent person in your energy, okay? That might have been a huge surprise to you, or it will be a surprise to you in the future, like that they're actually a soulmate. Or like somebody that is nice, okay? Or, you know, they're nice to you or they care about you, you know? It could have been a surprise. Like you didn't know. I feel like you did not know, or maybe you still don't know everything, okay? But something was a surprise. I feel like that's the other element here for some reason. Is that it's important to know that someone's identity was a secret from the other side. Okay, like the spirits and God protected someone's identity like a fragile egg. Okay, it's like there was no tapping into it. There was no energy reading. There was no kind of access. There was no information, nothing. It's like you got nothing. You would have gotten nothing off of trying to read this person. And anything that came through was all very neutral, or like it would have been not correct. Like this is like, as an example, okay, this is like spirit telling you that some person in your energy is like 60, 70 years old. And you think this whole time they're old. You think they're old this whole time. And then randomly spirit's like, surprise, that's not how old they are. And you're like, what the fuck? Right? But you were supposed to think that because you're not allowed to know who they are. Okay? It could have been things like that where spirit confused you on purpose. Why that is, I don't know, but you were not allowed to know. And this is not just like about age and gender and any of that, but I feel like, look, this person's energy was also heavily sanctioned off. You would have not been able to tap into their energy at all. You wouldn't have been able to feel what they feel, pick up on what they feel, or pick up on their energy or what's going on with them. Nothing. Radio silence. Okay? So if somebody is coming towards you with good intention, but spirit is like putting a jammer in there, then you can't feel it. You can't feel it. You can only feel it once the spirits like take it away and say, okay, now it's time. Now you can see. Now you can feel. Now you can connect. But that might have taken a long time, okay? And maybe it still hasn't happened completely, okay? Or maybe you're just starting to kind of tap into someone's energy, right? Okay. Like you're just starting to see like, oh, you know, something like that. Photographs. Yeah, okay, photographs. And something ending because of that. Yeah, you might have said something because of some sort of photographs or some sort of documents. You might have said something, again, because you couldn't read the energy of the person. You could only read the energy of the way, something about you feeling exposed or something feeling vulnerable about you. Okay, that's all you could pick up on here is what I'm getting. You couldn't feel if the person behind it is good or bad, right? And that affected the choice that you made because somebody was sad. It made someone sad. This feels like, it is kind of sad because I feel like this almost feels like somebody wanting to like connect to your energy and tell you through that kind of an energy channel that they're coming with peace. Okay, it's like, I come with peace, right? But since you're not allowed to feel the energy, you're not allowed to tap into it, there's a barrier there, it just doesn't come. You just don't feel it. Like spirit, this was a spirit thing. This was a divine spirit thing that someone here was like capsuled off. You did not know who they were, where they were. You didn't know their energy signature, nothing about them, nothing. You couldn't read them at all. I don't feel like you ever were able to read this person clearly. But maybe they thought you could. Maybe they thought you could. Maybe they thought you were reading them, but you couldn't completely. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain this. Maybe in times where they thought you knew their intentions, you didn't. And you would express things talking about someone completely different, but they thought it was about them. That's what I'm getting. Okay. A mirror. Mirroring each other. So you could be mirroring each other. What do you mean you're mirroring each other? Heart with a key. With the truth coming out, clarity, truth, revelation about receiving what you need and a message of love not going through. And I feel like this is about it's giving me the telepathic connection, okay? Like the connection is not going through. Like it didn't go through. Or some sort of an energetic connection. It wasn't coming through. Like if they were trying to express something, you were not getting the information. If you were trying to express something, they weren't getting the information. It was like there was like a barrier put in between you. Like, nope, no communication. Wasn't possible. Okay. And so maybe somebody thought it was one-sided. Well, what do you mean one-sided? It's not one-sided as much as it's like, there's like a steel wall in between it. I don't know how to say. Like, again, it's like you might have known someone is in your energy and you have a lot of, appreciation for this person, okay? It's almost like this is like a stranger, okay? It's like there's a stranger and you don't know who they are. You don't know who they are, you don't know how old they are, you don't know where they're from, nothing. You can't figure out anything about them, nothing. But you know that they have done things for you maybe, or protected you in certain ways. And so you're very curious about who this person is, right? And you appreciate them a lot, and you're grateful, okay? But there's like something about the energetic connection that spirit is like blocks out, where you can figure things out, but it's like you can't connect. And I feel like this is something that only like psychics can understand, because I'm like struggling, because it's like you can get facts on paper. Like spirit can tell you like, oh yes, they might be a fire sign, and they might be this, and they might be this old, and they might be a female, or they might be but tapping into the energy is a whole different kind of like connection, and that was not allowed. Even though I feel like you tried hard, but it wasn't allowed. You weren't allowed to. You weren't allowed to tap into the energy. That's what I keep getting. Okay. It needed time. Yeah, it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. It was divine timing. And I feel like, again, look, either you just recently, like very recently, like right now is what I'm getting, either right now or in the near future, that barrier is going to come down. Like right now. It's going to be the first time where you realize like who someone is, and I'm not talking about like, you're not going to know who they are, obviously, but you're going to be able to recognize their soul. Like you'll be able to tap into their soul, and who their soul is, what their soul feels like, because it's an energetic thing, right? So maybe that's why this is coming through as well, because it's a bit of a unique reading, okay? But you might have hurt this person's feelings, and now you're starting to connect to their energy, and maybe things are coming up from the past as well, where you're going to start thinking like, oh, was that this person, and I confused that, because you're going to start tapping into the energy more and more, and it's going to bring up like, I mean, maybe that's also kind of the psychic connection that comes with it, is like, if this person thinks of things that you said that hurt them, and then you think about that might be that moment where you realize like, oh, did it come from here? Is that why I'm thinking about this? You know what I mean? Yeah, but it was divine timing for the connection to be there. It was like, it wasn't allowed. And maybe this person, maybe to them that might be confusing, okay? Maybe something is confusing to them, but it's because I feel like you're just tapping into their energy, like very recently, or you're about to, okay? So it might be confusing to them, like, huh? Like what? But it's because you weren't able to tap into their energy before. Like it was like blocked off. You had no idea who they were, where they came from, what their soul felt like something was just, you're just tapping into it now. And that was orchestrated that way. That was the right timing for that to happen. There was a reason why you weren't allowed to know who they were. But now that you know who they are, you might start feeling their soul a lot, okay? Or you might think things and think like, was that their thought or my thought? Or you might feel things randomly and be like, did I just feel what they felt? Or maybe that's even happened in the past. I don't know, something like that, where once the barrier goes up and lifts up, you're going to start feeling more and more like you're tapping into someone else's energy, which you weren't allowed to do before, which makes me wonder if this person was able to tap into your energy, but you weren't allowed to tap into theirs. And maybe that's where the confusion was. I don't know. Very, very unique, weird reading. Okay, but I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, I hope this helps, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.